This is Becca Speaks. I'm Rebecca Johnson with Gloria Mack. This is where I speak about topics related to privacy, security, communications, and anything else that I want to talk about. Today's topic, fresh off of the hill, the FCC has proposed an $82 million fine against a company called Best Insurance Contracts who did not follow best practices because they have found themselves in hot water. Just over a 4-month span, they delivered 21 million calls. Now, not a bad practice. Insurance companies do this all the time, perfectly legal. But he didn't do it legally, and that's when you get in trouble. Here's what's interesting about this particular case. He's a legal setup entity. He's not calling from outside the U.S. And he started to call a lot of consumers, but he targeted his consumers. He targeted the poor, the elderly, to exploit them. He wanted to cause a particular harm. And with the Truth in Caller ID Act, in which he falsified his number, he spoofed the number, you're setting yourself up for trouble. Here's what's interesting. That alone is illegal. Shouldn't do it. He should be fined flat out right there. How did we capture him? This wasn't any kind of app or analytics that figured out who he was. He actually caused disruption on a network that's used for healthcare paging. Obviously, they were seeing some activities that was causing problems, which related right to the patient's health, and they reached out to the FCC to perform an investigation. So, of course, the FCC did. They subpoenaed his calls, and that's when they discovered some very, very poor practices. Let's look at what Chairman Pai had to say specifically about what they discovered. It is quite eye-opening. According to Chairman Pai's statement, Philip Rosal of Best Insurance Contracts instructed his employees as to which consumers to pick on. He's quoted as saying, "The dumber and more broke, the better." Well, Mr. Rosal, the dumber you are, the more broke that you got with this. He was even quoted as repeatedly bragging and joking to coworkers that his actions were minor legal violations akin to driving above the speed limit. Now, listen to what I have to say right here. In my over 10 years experience in helping companies follow these rules and regulations around the use of auto dialers, I cannot tell you how many times my clients have said, it's not that big of a deal. Just deliver the calls. Who's really gonna know? We're not really targeting people in a fraudulent way. They're our customers. We have every right. Excuses galore. And I will consistently tell you, I do not care what your excuses are. The law is the law, and it is so simple to follow the law. It has never been a challenge. So if I have a client that comes to me, just as Mr. Rosal would have said, I would have dropped him as a client, and he could have go use some other auto dialer company who's going to deliver the calls and put him at risk. You cannot play with these laws. I really hope that you guys are getting the message from the FCC that they mean business. They will crack down on illegal practices. You can still be successful in your business by following the rules. They do not impede your ability to do that. So there's lots of lessons to be learned from this, and I truly hope that you take to heart and don't dismiss it and think, that'll never happen to me. If you do not know with certainty that you are following the rules that are in play, that's where Gloria Mack can help. It is very crystal clear to me, very simple, and I'll be straightforward with you. Thanks for joining me today on this episode of Becca Speaks. If you liked this video, click like. If you learned something from it, my God, I hope you did. Share it with your friends to make sure that they're aware of this. And if you want to hear more from me, then click subscribe. I'm Rebecca Johnson, and I speak it like I see it.